At 3 in the morning, while the daughter-in-law was fast asleep, her mother-in-law quietly entered the room carrying a basin of foot-washing water and without warning, splashed it over her. The self-assured mother-in-law had not anticipated that this act would spark an intense emotional reaction, eventually forcing her to face the consequences of her behavior. Ever since losing her first child, the daughter-in-law's emotional state had been fragile. Doctors had repeatedly instructed her husband to ensure she took her medication and to avoid provoking her, fearing any strong stimulus might trigger uncontrollable outbursts. Yet the mother-in-law stubbornly believed that the daughter-in-law was merely feigning illness to gain her son's attention and deliberately sought to create trouble. That day, the mother-in-law began by scattering the daughter-in-law's clothes all over the floor while hurling cutting remarks. Despite the rising anger within her, the daughter-in-law did her best to control her emotions, mindful that her young daughter was nearby and in need of care. Once she managed to regain her composure, she calmly told the mother-in-law that she would tolerate the incident this time but that her personal belongings should be left undisturbed in the future. However, the mother-in-law remained indifferent. Later in the evening, she deliberately damaged the daughter-in-law's cherished cosmetics, seemingly testing her limits once again. When the ruined items were discovered in the trash, the daughter-in-law's emotions nearly reached a breaking point. Just as she was on the verge of losing control, her daughter rushed in to offer gentle comfort, promising that when she grew up, she would buy her many beautiful cosmetics. Her daughter's thoughtfulness helped restore the daughter-in-law's calm, allowing her to suppress the urge to retaliate immediately. Undeterred, the mother-in-law continued her provocations. Later that night, while the daughter-in-law slept, she once again splashed the foot-washing water on her. Faced with this string of deliberate acts, the daughter-in-law's emotions finally overflowed, and she